Hello everybody. In this video, we'll discuss about the one of the most important population geography theory, which is optimum populations theory. So now we discuss about what is optimum populations and its the main assumptions or main themes of this theory. So let's go. Introductions. The optimum populations is the ideal populations which combined with other available resource of or means the productions of the country will yield the maximum return or income per head. The populations which is ideal populations in which the resource base of a country which maximum profit will get maximum profit or return. The optimum theory of populations was propounded by Edwin Cannon in his book Wealth 1924. The theory was popularized by Robinson, Carl Sounder and Dalton. According to Robinson, Carl Saunders and Dalton, they define different definitions. Robinson defines it as the populations which makes the maximum returns possible is the optimum populations or the best possible populations. According to Robinson, is defined that the populations which just makes the maximum returns. This is economic concept mainly. Possible is the optimum populations or the best possible populations. According to Carl Sounder, defines that it's as the populations which produces the maximum economic welfare. According to Dalton, the optimum populations is that populations which gives the maximum income per head. So among them, Robinson, Carl Sounder and Dalton view is more scientific and realistic. And now the assumptions of this theory. The theory is based on following assumptions. The natural resources of a country are given at a point of time, but they change over time. The natural resources are always changeable. There is no change in techniques of productions. According to optimum populations theory. The stock of capital remain constant. The habitat and taste of the people do not change. The people's desired or people taste is do not change according to optimum populations theory. The ratio of the working populations to total populations remain constant even with the growth of populations. Working hour of labor do not change. The people working hour of labors do not change. Modes of business organizations are constant. Modes of business organizations are constant. And some basic criteria for assessing the optimum populations. First is per capita income and productions, full employment, life expectancy, dependency ratio, availability of pure water and air, highest average standard of living, per capita consumptions and food and energy, productions and expenditure of food, balanced populations resource ratio, balanced demographic structure. And now we discuss the theory. The optimum populations is that ideal size of populations. Before we discuss that which provides the maximum income per head. Any rise or reductions in size of populations above or below the optimum level will diminish the income per head. If the optimum populations size above or below optimum level will diminish the income per head. Given the stocks of natural resources, the techniques of productions and stocks capital in a country, there is definite size of populations corresponding to highest per capita income. Given the stock natural resources, how much we stocks the natural resources, the technique of productions and stocks capital in a country, there is a definite size of population size and its highest per capita income. Other things being equal, any deviations from optimum size populations will lead to reductions in per capita income. Other things being equals, any deviations from optimum size populations will lead the reductions in per capita income. If the increase in populations is followed by increase in per capita income, if the populations increase followed by per capita income, the country is underpopulated. If the increase in populations, if the populations grows is followed by increase in per capita income, if per capita income grow, the population size is grow, the country is underpopulated and can afford to increase in population till it reach the optimum level, because in which the population is underpopulated, because the resources, the capita income, per capita income is high than the increase of populations. And if the increase in population leads to diminutions of per capita income, if the increase of population is higher than the per capita income, the country is overpopulated. The country, when the populations leads the, when the population is greater than per capita income, the country is overpopulated and needs to decline in population till the per capita income is maximized, when it get the optimum population's level. The per capita income is the highest at the optimum point. After that, the average product of labor start falling. The per capita income is the highest at the optimum point. This is optimum point or balance point. After that, the average productions of labor start falling. And according to Dr. Kanan and according to Dr. Kanan, there is a direct relationship between the size of populations and existing resource of a country. Overpopulations, underpopulations, optimum size of populations. And before we discuss all those, overpopulated, if the during a period time the per capita income being fall due to increase of populations, the country is said to be overpopulated. What is overpopulated country? And if the during a period of time the per capita income being to fall due to increase of populations, the country is said to be overpopulated. Underpopulated, if the number of people are less than the resource, the number of people is less than the resource of a country, that they are unable to make full use of these resources, the country is said to be underpopulated. And now, what is optimum populations? When the size of populations is according to the size of natural resources as fully utilized. In this case, the per capita output will be maximum and the country is said to be having the ideal size of populations or is optimum populations. The term allow the high standard of living. The concept is concerned with the high quality of life. The optimum populations concept is concerned with the high quality of life. Each inhabitant received amount of food, energy, water and air of high quality. And now it is a diagram of optimum populations. Now in x-axis we represent the populations and in y-axis we represent the per capita income. And it is in point M point is in optimum populations point. Then diagrams of underpopulated and overpopulated country. And one theory was very popular, the theory of Varet-Werner. Varet-Werner said that the optimum populations is one of the enjoy full employment satisfaction levels of life. He said that the optimum populations is one of the enjoy full employment when optimum population means the resource and the population is balanced, when the employment becomes very high, employment opportunity is very high, satisfaction levels of employment is very high, daily per capita income intake over 25 calories of food, per capita income intakes over 2500 calories of food, per capita expenditure on food not exceeding 50% of total income, per capita expenditures on food, per capita expenditure on food not exceeding 50% of total incomes. And now the optimum population theory is not fixed point. Optimum is in this diagram, so is an M point, is an optimum populations point, but optimum populations is not fixed point. It's change with the changes in any of the factors. If there is improvement method and techniques of productions, the output per head will rise and the optimum point will shift upward, and with increase the stock natural resources, the optimum points of the country will increase. It is not a fixed point, it is changeable. Optimum population point always changeable. And now we discuss the criticisms of this theory. There is no evidence of optimum level in a country, difficult to measure the optimum level, correct measures of per capita income is not possible, neglects the distribution aspects of per capita income, optimum level not fixed but changes with time, neglects social institutional conditions, no place in state policies, no place in state policies, does not explain the determinants of population's growth, priority over Malthus's theory. According to Malthus, the population grows as geometric rate, and food productions is grow at arithmetic rate. But there is a disparity between population growth and food productions. And now in optimum population theory, it criticizes the Malthus theory and state that the theory is superior to Malthus's theory as it's applicable to all countries irrespective of their economic conditions. The theory related the problems of populations to the total populations of the country, both agricultural and industrial. The concept is dynamic as over period of time. The concept is dynamic or changeable. Per capita income may be increased with the expansions of output due to improvement of knowledge, skill, capital, equipment, etc. The theory adopts an optimistic and a realistic viewpoint toward the problems of populations. And now the conclusions. Now it's isn't basically optimum population theory isn't basically economic concept. It will include it all total well-being, health of a nations, its equilibrium between the populations and resource. And a country is said to have the optimum population when the number of people is balanced with the available resources. So it is one of the most important theory in population geography. So thanks for watching.